writing hack is to let go of done. Perfectionism makes no sense in business writing, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's not about creating something that looks like a template you admire or that is aesthetically pleasing or looks like something that you learned to produce in university. It's about functionality. It's about creating an effective document or message or presentation that produces the results that you want, that gets the job done. Second reason perfectionism makes no sense when we think about business writing is that, in a very real sense, business writing is never complete when the writer thinks they're finished. Let me tell you why. Writing is really a co-creative process, and it involves not just you, the writer, but also your reader. Let's imagine I'm writing you an email. I can craft what I think is it's a gorgeous email. I think I'm done. I have taken the ideas from my head, I have put them into these alphabetic characters, these punctuation marks, I'm done. I send it off. But actually what I have done is I have attempted to convey meaning through this vehicle of written language. But that meaning isn't encapsulated in this kind of airtight package that you're just going to open and then the meaning is going to magically pop out. You are going to have to interpret what I send, which means that you are actually going to be very active in this process of deriving and creating meaning. So the writing isn't finished when I think I'm finished. It's not finished until it has done its job, until it has been interpreted by you, and then it hopefully leads to whatever action that I want that email to produce. So how do we work with this? If writing is never done, how do we know when it's good enough to release into the world? Well, there are three things you can do. One is to collaborate with your audience whenever you can. So if I had a phone call with you before I put that email together, that would make the work so much easier. And it would be faster for me, the interpretation process would be easier for you, and it would be so much easier for me to know this is done. The second thing you can do is, if you can't collaborate with your audience, you can role play your audience. So really take time to get to know your audience. If you can't get to know them in person, there are lots of strategies you can use to analyze your audience so that you can role play them and think about how they're going to create in that meaning, how they are going to participate in that meaning-making process. The third thing you can do, which is an extension of the role play in a way, is to create a detailed assessment framework. And when I work with clients, particularly in a corporate setting, I do that routinely. I will create a customized assessment tool that folks can use so that they can really know what are the criteria for effectiveness. How do I know that this document is ready to let go? How do I call done? Well, if you have very specific features in the writing that you've identified that will enable you to, as accurately as you can, transmit your meaning in a way that will be very accessible and appealing to your audience, then you know when it's okay to call done. If you have any questions, if you'd like to chat about any of the ideas I've shared today, feel free to drop me an email or write a comment in the box below.